Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, where we talk about all news, comics, and media related to the Transformers. In this episode, Hero X is releasing more Japanese language reprints of the classic Marvel Transformers comics. There's a disappointing non-update for Transformers Reactivate. And TFcon LA has even more amazing guest announcements. Today is Friday, December 15th, 2023. This is episode 368 of Transmissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, the podcast that's switching to the Unreal 5 podcast engine. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
I don't know what any of that means, but let's do it. Let's talk Transformers.
You wrote it.
Doesn't mean I understand it.
Nobody consulted me. Good luck.
Charles is the engineer.
He's that kind of engineer.
He is that kind of engineer. We should know.
I don't work on
Do you understand
podcast engines.
Do you understand what we're talking about?
Anyway, we always start off the show by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who support us on Patreon. Thank you all so much for continuing to help us out and support the show. We really appreciate it. If you'd like to become a Donatreon, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. That's where you can sign up. Of course, you get lots of bonus content, including our bonus show, We Like Big Bots. And if you watch the toy show this week, you got the special announcement that 2 more episodes of We Like Big Bots have been recorded. And they will be showing up very soon. So,
with who?
Very,
who recorded
very soon. Asterisk. Soon means sometime.
Yes, it's true. They did happen. I was present for them. So it's happening. Yep.
It's happening, Ron Paul. It's happening. Isn't that a meme?
Yeah, but Daryl's Canadian. You might not.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Probably shouldn't promote Ron Paul anyway. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, we also have our Transformers Live Play RPG podcast, Empire of Rust. We have our special side story, the Rustford Files. Episode 6 came out last week. The Junkion Chronicles, and episode 7 will be out this Monday. All these episodes are at transmissionspodcast.com/rust. And we're continuing with this side story that will be going on for a few more weeks, and we'll be wrapping up, and then we'll get into season 3 of Empire of Rust after the new year. So, it should be, I think, like mid to late January or early February, we'll be getting back into season 3 of Empire of Rust. So look forward to that. Of course, we still have our exclusive Transformers #1 comic cover with artwork by E.J. Sue. This is available at our website at transmissionspodcast.com/comic. This is the only of the new Skybound Transformers comics that had an artist who worked on IDW doing the artwork. So I think it's pretty cool, pretty unique. And of course, we also have our Toyhax code, so you can get 15% off everything at toyhax.com with our code SANTAPRIME. So if you're still looking for some holiday shopping, getting some Transformers labels for your figures or for figures of your friends or family, you can buy everything with this code, 15% off your entire order, and use it as many times as you like. It will be good all the way through the end of December. All right, so let's jump in with some comics news. Okay, first up, we've got the Japanese publisher Hero X. They have been doing reprints of the classic Marvel Transformers comics, and reprinting them in Japanese language. So for all the Japanese Transformers fans who missed out on the classic 80s Marvel Transformers comics and they're curious about them, you can, and you're listening to this podcast for some reason, you can pick them up through probably through retailers in Japan. Looks like with this is volume 6 of the Transformers Classics series that they're doing. And looks like this probably includes issue 27 of the Marvel run where the Dinobots fought Trypticon. And because that's on the cover, you've got the Grimlock facing off and other Dinobots there too, facing off against Trypticon. So yeah, that's cool. I fully endorse getting the Marvel G1 comics reprinted out and to as many interested readers as possible. So folks in Japan, I hope you enjoy these comics. Okay, speaking of comics, we've got Skybound's Transformers Volume 1. So this is the trade paperback that will collect issues 1 through 6 of the new series. And this is available on Amazon for pre-order with a release date of May 2024. So the first 6 issues of the Transformers comics are coming out. We've had issues 1 through 3 out already. So issues 4 through 6 should be out in January, February, March. So that, of course, 2 months later, getting all 6 issues in a trade paperback, of course, would make sense. So if you are waiting for the trade and looking forward to that, you can pick that up. Amazon's price is $17. I would imagine you can also get this at your local comic shop as well. So probably when the solicits are for that, you can put that on your pull list. So yeah, that's all the comics news for this week. Not a whole lot after the riveting events of Transformers #3 that we reviewed last week. So when we've got Duke coming up very soon in a couple weeks. So
excited, Daryl.
Not overly. We've likely missed. I mean, there's been some slow weeks that during the time that we've been reviewing comics, but frankly, I can't remember a lot of the stuff we've missed. So it can't be that big. But there's generally we when we only review comics, when we're going to review a comic, we skip any media news. So it's so if you're wondering why we haven't done an actual media news or anything like that, or comic book news kind of thing, that's probably why. So,
yep. Speaking of which, let's move on to media news.
Well, the first thing in media news this week is all the G.I. Joe books have been canceled. Oh, shit. No, I'm kidding. But wouldn't that be great? No, I'm kidding again. I know Charles loves them. All right. So in media news this week, we have got a Transformers trading card game line art by Ken Christiansen. This is the trading card game is something that they brought out last year. And I know it's been making the rounds a bit. Every now and then I'll see it getting played at TFcon. There was definitely a room dedicated to TCG at the last TFcon Toronto that I was at. So that was very cool. And
I
this is the one
game.
Did you? That's right.
Yeah.
So this is the one where you can actually buy the entire thing all in the one box. And then you can buy like additional, boxes to supplement the game. This is not like the first TCG where you could buy packs and stuff like that,
This
like
is the
Magic the Gathering.
card game.
So the CCG, the deck builder. Yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, so this is the art from Ken Christiansen that's in the game. You can go through it. Some great line art in here for sure. So take a look at that.
I thought this this is. I don't think that. I thought this. It says trading card game. I thought this is not the deck building game. This is the trading.
Yeah,
card
this
game.
is the Wizards of the Coast.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
This is.
I don't recognize any of this stuff. This must be from some of the later waves because I would have been out of it by then. Yeah, interesting. I don't recognize any of this stuff. Either way, it looks good. Next up, this is the officially licensed G1 Transformers Autobot poster by Rich Pellegrino, and this is you can get this on his website, which is richpellegrino.bigcartel.com, and this
richpellegrino.com.
Okay, and you can get the cartoon variant. This is going to be 18 by 24, and it is I don't see a price on here, but maybe if you go to the site, it'll tell you. Oh yeah, it's $50. And then you can get the hand painted portrait, which will be the same poster, but with pictures of each individual character next to it as well. So these are hand painted. This is $100. So yeah, and they're cool. They look good. Very cool. Anyway, so that's available there as well. Next up, we're gonna pull that up. This is Transformers Rise of the Beast Freezer concept. So this is concept art for Rise of the Beast for the character of Freezer. If I remember correctly, this kind of crap is going to leak out for the next year and a half. So get used to seeing little concept art pieces kind of come out. This is from artist Shane Baxley's Instagram account. So if you want to follow them for more, leaks of, concept art, then check them out. Looks cool. I could not tell you who Freezer was in the movie. I paid no attention to that character.
There were the little minions who like ran around and chased the humans, I think.
Cool. Up next, we have Transformers Reactivate Starscream design. So this is going to be what Starscream looks like in the game, and it looks good. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with how this looks. I'm excited to see this in the game. If this is the in-game design, then I'm impressed. I gotta say though, he's got blue eyes, and that means he's good. So you got to change the eye color there. But other than that, I'm pretty okay with this. Yeah. So we've got some design pieces here. I know that this has been transposed into a toy, and that toy is already being sold. So I honestly think this looks better than the toy, but that often is the case when it comes to in-game or kind of like design elements getting translated to toy form. But yeah, I like this a lot. I think it looks really awesome. Yeah. All right. Next up, we have a post for Transformers Reactivate, and they are mentioning that it is it's delayed, which we kind of expected, seeing as we had heard nothing. But the good news on this shit sandwich is that it is they have shifted their developing to the game engine, or the Unreal Game Engine 5. So, Charles, what is that?
I mean, it's just a video game engine for like it's has the like physics, 3D modeling, that supports all the the basically the infrastructure that allows the game to work. It's probably they were originally using Unity, which is another game engine. Unity had some controversy in the last couple of months because they were going to start charging exorbitant fees for not just for using the engine in games, and like
Every
normally
download.
Yeah, instead of like
Right.
every purchase game, every download that the game gets, you would have to pay a fee to Unity.
Or redown.
Yeah, and it was going to be retroactive. Like if you already have Unity in your game, they're going to be like, "Oh, surprise, you got to pay a bunch of extra fees for all the games that have been downloaded." So understandably, developers were not happy about this. So a lot of developers were saying, "Okay, we're going away from Unity." Unity has since walked back those plans, and they are backing off, saying that they're going to keep charging those fees. But I think some of the PR damage is done, and a lot of people are saying, "Well, you've broken trust with us. I don't think we're going to trust you to be our game engine anymore." So
yeah,
that is why
we should have realized this. You know, I don't know if they mentioned what engine, but with the delay, now knowing that they're going to Unreal Engine 5, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So is this a good thing that they're changing it to Unreal Engine 5?
Well, it's well, for them it'll be good that they don't have to pay those fees, but it's bad. It's going to basically add the delay because they have to basically adapt all the work they've already done to a new engine. So there's going to be a lot of they probably will have to throw out a lot of code they've already written and start over. So that's going to introduce a delay.
But I mean, in terms of quality, Unreal Engine, you know, I'm not sure what games use it, like modern games, but you know, it's top tier.
Okay.
It should be good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. Well, I mean, I'm not following this thing as like super duper closely. When it comes out, I'll play it if I can. I mean, if it's on console, I'll play it. If it's on computer, then I'll see if it's possible.
And that's one of the things they write to the engine, and the engine has ports for each platform, or it makes it easier to port to each platform. So hopefully this means it's going to be available for everyone to play it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Each platform basically supports these game engines, so you don't have to rewrite your code for every platform.
Cool.
But Daryl, there's really nothing to follow because there hasn't been any updates since that trailer last year. We've seen nothing about this game other than stuff leaking. So
yeah,
there wasn't anything for you to follow. So don't worry about it.
I mean, we registered for press access, and this came out on Twitter, not press.
Right. No, I mean, it's just that you know, I'm not a big gamer, so anytime any kind of, you know, anything happens in the gamer world, I just I generally don't hear about it. So if you know, have to be very pointed information about this particular game for me to kind of perk up and let's take notice. So before I know it, this will be out because I'm not really paying attention to it. So
we'll let you know.
Yeah.
We'll remind you.
And maybe subscribe to Alt Mode.
I'll be sure to subscribe to the podcast. Thanks, guys. But yeah, so the bottom of this thing for our audio listeners, it does tell you to stay tuned for exciting reveals and epic developments in 2024. Autobots rollout. So yeah, they've just kind of closed the book on 2023, seeing as there's only like 3 weeks left. So they're done. And Charles, you just happened to you watched the Gamer Awards, and you know, how many times was this game talked about or mentioned? You know, any kind of press they got?
0.
Okay.
So I think this announcement on Twitter went up like a couple days before the Game Awards, because I think people were like, hey, this trailer showed up at the Game Awards last year. Maybe we'll get some more info this year. So I think they put this out ahead of time to basically, you know, lower people's expectations, not make them think they were going to see something at the Game Awards. And yeah, there was nothing at the Game Awards about this game. So there you go.
Cool. All right. Well, then we will move on to the next piece of information, and that is that Transformers EarthSpark Season 1, Part 2 on DVD is available on Amazon. So you can order that. It is episodes 11 through 26, and it is on DVD, not Blu-ray, DVD, and it is $15.99. This is Amazon.com. And so if you're in Canada or anywhere else in the world, make sure that you double check your location and your pricing for that. But yeah, it is pretty good. We've enjoyed this series. We still have to finish our reviews on it, but yeah, it's a pretty good show. So yeah, take a look at that if you're interested. Moving on, if you have been subscribed to the Transformers official YouTube page, then you would know that Transformers Animated Season 1, Episode 1 is available for streaming in HD on that channel. And I believe they've actually uploaded the entire first season. So, but I could be wrong. I did hear something about the first full season being up, but either way, the season 1, episode 1 is there, and you can take a look at that. So yeah, so it looks like they've made their way to Transformers Animated. I wonder if season 3 will make it on there. That will be the question, and that will do it for media news.
All right, and now we will finish up the show with convention news.
All right. We have, since we've been doing so many reviews and stuff, we've got weeks of TFcon Los Angeles announcements. TFcon Los Angeles is March 8th through 10th, 2024. I think we mentioned last week, Daryl is likely to go. He's trying to go. Char, yep, I think, is also trying to go. Charles and I will just be holding the fort down.
Yep.
Not going. But
that's best.
If you are going to be going, here's some guest announcements. We have Laurie Faso, who was the voice of Dive Bomb, Orion Pack, Skydive, and Rampage in G1. And then we have Paul Eiding, he's so funny. He's great and not a stranger to TFcon at all. He was the voice of Perceptor and the Quintesson in G1. And then we have Bill Ratner, who is the voice of Flint from G.I. Joe, and some Flint-looking like person in the G1 episode, The Killing Jar.
Marissa Fairborn's dad.
Yeah, I think he actually was Flint. But
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Morgan Lofting, who was the voice of Moonracer in G1, and she was some minor character called the Baroness in G.I. Joe.
Never heard of her.
Yeah. And then finally, we have Neil Ross, who is the voice of Bone Crusher, Crosshairs, Point Blank, Six Shot, Flag, and Springer in G1. And as I learned a few weeks ago, he was what was the serial character? You told me, Daryl.
No, that's not. It's Michael Bell was.
Michael Bell. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Well, Neil Ross was in many other shows.
I'm sure he's done a serial commercial too.
Yeah.
I mean, they've all done one.
Yeah, but anyway, he was in many, many, many shows in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
He's also no stranger to TF. So lots of announcements. I think we are now caught up. If you didn't.
Oh, you skipped one.
What?
You skipped the biggest one.
I don't have that tab.
I mean, I don't. Honestly, yeah. I don't need people knowing about this person just because I need to get my own ticket to them and see them for myself. So you can skip it if you want,
or if you can get in there before Daryl. On Sunday, Frank Welker is going to show up. He was the voice of some other minor character named Megatron.
Never heard of him.
Soundwave, maybe. He's done a few voices here and there.
Laserbeak, Ravage.
Basically, any animal in any cartoon you've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was the monkey or Abu in Aladdin.
Yep. Curious George.
Yeah. So he's there. He will be appearing Sunday, and there's gonna be a Q&A panel, and you got to buy a ticket for autographs. And this says that the weekend pass holders are going to be the ones that are going to be able to buy the pass. So there will not be passes for Frank Welker at the show to buy. So Daryl better hurry.
And this is we've got Peter Cullen and Frank Welker at TFcon LA now.
Yeah, they're both there.
So,
Yeah, there's going to be a Q&A with just the two of them. So that's also weekend pass holders get priority access. If you're just coming for the day, likely not going to get to go.
all right, well, that's all the convention news, and that will take us to the end of this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode. Again, at the end of every episode, we give a shout out to our masterpiece donatrons. These are the folks who continue to support the podcast at our highest level on Patreon, and that's why we give them a mention in every episode. So thank you once again to John Forex Levengood and Demon Tech 82. We really appreciate your support. And we appreciate everyone watching and listening to Transmissions Alt Mode. Thanks again, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.